Wareham Charter Review Committee, May 28, 2009. The following members were in attendance: Alan Slavin, Chairman; Mary Ann Silva, Clerk; Lee Carmody, Edward Pasewicz, John Houghton, David Smith, Len Gay, Mick Jones. And Board of Selectmen Liaison, Brenda Ekstrom. Jane Donahue, Board of Selectmen. And Finance Committee Liaison, Donna Brunk. The meeting was called to order by Alan Slavin, Chairman, at 6:05 p.m. The Chairman asked all if they had copies of the minutes. The Clerk asked the body to please delay accepting the previous minutes, as she felt they were incomplete. Jack made a motion to waive the review of the minutes until the next meeting. David seconded, and Alan called for the vote. It was recorded as 6-0-1. Brenda Ekstrom informed the board that the expiration of the committee was around November of 2010. This meant the committee had plenty of time to gather their thoughts and produce information regarding the committee's recommendation for any necessary changes. Alan Slavin reported that he was a member of the WCTV station. David Smith also stated he was a member. The suggestion was that the committee work to create and present a video for the community on the public access channel to distribute pertinent information. Alan suggested that each member could appear and share their views regarding any charter changes. This would also give the committee a venue to provide as much information as possible. Alan distributed copies of information received by the clerk for all towns who responded to the questions put forth by the committee. Alan suggested a subcommittee be formed and be given the task of visiting a few towns. Suggested was Bourne, Burlington, Randolph and Saugus. A few of these towns have had drastic changes, and some towns, such as Bourne, reflect Wareham's form of government. Alan reported that Bourne has been very successful and has managed to have money in their stabilization and reserve accounts. Alan suggested that we meet with these communities and get a handle on the pros and cons of their form of government. It was discussed at length the feasibility of actually visiting these towns and what the committee hoped to accomplish. It was suggested by a few committee members that we conduct research first and decide exactly what forms are most compatible with Wareham, prior to visiting other communities. It was also suggested that perhaps we could create a survey and forward them to several communities for their input. It was agreed that the committee needs to do their homework and narrow it down to a couple of forms of government. The committee then proceeded to discuss Wareham's history and previous form of government, and what prompted the change to the current form. The committee was adamant on including community input. Top on the list of concerns was making certain whatever form we research, that we create a government that is responsible and accountable to the citizens of Wareham. The committee discussed this above subject for approximately 1 hour. It was agreed that the committee would read all information provided to us from Lauren Goldberg and discuss same at the next meeting. Jack motioned to adjourn, seconded by Ed, and Alan called for the vote, which was recorded as unanimous. The committee adjourned at 8 p.m. The next meeting is for Thursday, June 11, 2009 at 6 p.m. Sincerely, Mary Ann Silva, Clerk.